Hi everyone, welcome back to my Elite Dangerous adventure. Today marks the 1 week since I started playing Elite Dangerous, and this 1 week's experience has been absolutely amazing. And I am really excited to delve deep into the game and make more detailed videos about every single aspect of the game as much as I can. But as for this video, I just want to share my thoughts, my experience, and some of the things that I learned and the mistakes that I made during the first week of me playing Elite Dangerous. And of course, the things I wish I knew before I started playing. And this video is by no means a guide for new players, since I am a fresh new player myself. And if you are a new player, or if you want to be, I hope this video can help a little. And if you are a seasoned player, I hope this video can relate a little to remind you of the first time you start playing Elite Dangerous. So here we go. First of all, I did not do my research before I start playing Elite Dangerous because I didn't know how big is Elite's universe. Because if you stay in Stanton for too long, if you know what I'm talking about, it can make you forget that there are actually other star systems in the universe. And some of my viewers said Elite is a 1-to-1 scale of the Milky Way, and I think you're in for a treat. Then I googled it, and I was amazed. Elite Dangerous contains, according to Google, Elite Dangerous contains a vast 1-to-1 scale simulation of the Milky Way galaxy based on real scientific principles, current scientific data, and theories. It includes around 400 billion star systems and is modeled on actual galactic charts. Oh my goodness, I am indeed in for a treat. Like I said in my very first video, I've been playing Star Citizen for over a year now, and Star Citizen contains only one star system so far, Stanton. Imagine 400 billion of them. That's crazy. Here is the star map. This is where I am, Eravate or Eravate. And I don't know exactly where I am. I only know the star system name. That's it. But look at this. This is crazy. All these stars you can actually travel to as long as you have the proper quantum jump, the drive. And like this, if you mark the route. Oh, I cannot jump with this ship. And here is Seoul. I think this is where the Earth is. I have not visited Seoul yet. The Seoul system is notable as the birthplace of humanity and the capital of the Federation. But I have not visited Seoul, and I long to visit Seoul. I need to find the means to travel. I can't even travel that far at all. But look at this. If I zoom out, that is just one sector. And this is the whole Milky Way galaxy. Crazy, 400 billion stars. I am sure most of the stars are not habitable, but they are here and you can actually travel there. I think most of the stars, according to Google, most of the stars here in this game is also where in our real universe. Look at this with a name. I can't travel here yet, but distance 43,000 light years. None. So these are not habitable, but you can actually travel there. This is the first beauty of this game. So because of this, I underestimated the scale of this game. So here comes my first frustration. When I want to travel from places to places, or from one station to another station, or from stations to mission sites, it takes so long to travel anywhere I go. And when I am in Super Cruise within a star system, I thought there is a faster way to travel. So I researched and researched, but the answer is no. You cannot travel faster than light. I was actually traveling over 100 times faster than light, and I'm still looking for a faster way to travel like that. I can't gain more speed. I just need to gain more patience. So this is the first thing I learned in this game. every game has its learning curves. Elite Dangerous has a slightly higher one, considering the scale and the details it contains, especially in the immediate and first area of flying your ship. There are so many controls that needs to be considered. I still cannot get the hang of it, especially when enemy pass you by, you try to turn it around. It's really difficult to turn around fast and catch up with your enemy. And I can tell the ship flying physics in-game are as close to that in our real life as possible, except it is a spaceship, and there are more dimension of controls that needs to be considered and skilled at. But that's what makes it challenging, yet so much fun. And one thing it helps me to gain better control of my ship is to play around with the keybinds, which I often do in Star Citizen. But Elite Dangerous is slightly different, so I have to adapt. And in Star Citizen, I use verbal control to fly my ship, but I don't know in Elite Dangerous. I have not tried it. I don't know if we can use our own controller to control the ship or not. First order of business is to find the keybinds that you feel the most comfortable with. I am still playing around with it, especially in these areas. So if you go to your game option, go to ship controls, and I found these controls are to be very important to play around with. So first of all, the mouth control. The mouth will control the roll and the pitch. So mouth sensitivity is very important. I have not played around with the dead zones and power curve and things like that. The next is a fly rotation. So these are the basic flight controls for your ship. So basically you use your keyboard to control the yaw, A and D. Here, flight thrust. In Star Citizen, these are called strafe. So these are very important in dogfight. So thrust left, strafe left, thrust right, strafe right, thrust up and down. I try to map all the controls as close to Star Citizen as possible because I started with that game first. So I'm really familiar with that game control. So thrust up, space, and thrust down control, I changed these two. And thrust forward, I changed to W, and thrust backward, I changed to S. By default, the W and S is for flight throttles, but I changed them to R and F. And again, this is just for me. I'm still trying to get familiarized with all these basic flight controls. So, since we talk about the keybind, there are a few keybinds I found to be very important. Of course, the more experienced players can offer you much better advice and can offer me much better advice as well. But these are what I discovered. So, flight miscellaneous, engine boost, find a key that is best suited for you. Targeting, and I changed a few keys. Very important. I think the one I use most is the H. Cycle next hostile target. I changed to that. And the 5, I changed to select higher threat. Cooling, I put a heatsink to B because sometimes you do need the heatsink to avoid scanning. Miscellaneous ship lights. I think this was not binded, but a lot of occasions it is important to have a ship light so you can see your surroundings. And also, one of the viewers said there is a keybind for night vision, which is awesome to know there is a night vision in Elite Dangerous. I have not tried that yet, but I did find the keybind for it. So I think it's also under miscellaneous. There we go. The very end, night vision. So I haven't tried it yet. So I put a keybind. Since he said it's important, so I put a keybind on it. I'm waiting to try it out. And also, if you have a shield cell, chaff launcher, you can put some keybinds. There are so many detailed keybinds. By the way, there is one very important thing I find out is the increased sensor zoom and decreased sensor zoom. What this does is this. So if you can see the, oops, I just dropped a quantum. Okay, so if you see the bottom of the screen, you can see there is a yellow square, like moving around. So sometimes I'm doing a combat. After I defeat one ship, I couldn't find the other ship. So you can zoom out your scan range, and then you can see the blue marker getting closer to me and getting further away from me. So this I found to be very useful. And also you can see the triangle in the center. I think is your ship is getting smaller and smaller. But also the scan range will also depends on the scanners you use. And also by looking at the options for keybinds, I found out that you can actually do power management in Elite Dangerous as well. And this is very important. And I wish I could find out this earlier. Basically, if you look at the right-hand side, and you can see I give full power to system, full power to weapon, and full power to engine. Also, as you can see on the very right-hand side, it says wanted. Yes, I am a wanted man because I was doing a combat earlier and I made a mistake. I shot a security. I assumed because those ships are among the enemy ships, so I did not finish my scan of that ship. I start switching target and shoot. So this gave me a crime stat, and I need to either find a place to pay it off or submit myself to jail, which is not good. So that's something I learned. You need to be careful who to shoot. Unless you want to be a pirate, you can shoot whoever you want. But for beginners, this is a hard lesson. So scan the ships. If you are in a fight, you have a lot of ships around you, scan the ship, scan your target before you open fire. Make sure it says wanted or it has a bounty so you can shoot it without getting a crime stat. Support services, contacts, administrative contact. Hand yourself in. Alright, I hand myself in. Confirm. Serving my sentence. Mercy's hammer. Deploy. Alright, I am a free man now. Okay, back to keybind. Another thing that is very important is general control. Under general controls, you have the camera suite and free camera. Because I am doing recordings, so I want to create some cinematics, really nice footage for my recordings. So I play around with this camera and free camera keybinds a lot to get familiarized with what I can do. But so these are not as important if you're not doing recording, but if you want to enjoy some really nice third-person view or first-person view from different angles of your ship, play around with this. It's really, really fun. Like this, I can quickly go into third-person view. And in third-person view, I can press one button and still control my ship. And I control the speed of me, and then rotation as well. So that I can create some really nice and cinematic footage later. Alright, so now I am going to end this video by sharing a few more interesting things that I found during my first week playing Elite Dangerous. So first thing is that when I was doing this delivery mission, that the drop-off location is Alten settlement. And I spent over an hour and I could not find this Alten settlement. I even Googled it. And every source that I searched, it says it is in the third planet of this specific system. And I was so happy. And I tried to find the third planet. Guess what? The planet number goes from 1, 2 to 4. There are just no third planet. And you can see there is a whole bunch of asteroids in between number 2 and number 4. I wonder if something happened, like a Death Star destroyed this planet, and the Alten settlement is on one of those big rocks, or something. Is there a story behind this, or this is simply a bug? If anybody knows the story behind this, please leave in the comments below. I am really interested to know. The second thing I found interesting is it is really difficult for me to find number 4A shield. And I also find out that some of the ships a certain location sells, it changes over time. I was in one location buying something, and next day it's gone. And I search my memory, I know that I purchased that in that store, in that system, but next day it's gone. So I think all these things changes all the time, which is actually a good. There is a really healthy economy in Elite Dangerous. Another thing that is really interesting is that one time I accidentally shoot a security and got sent to jail, and after that I just could not get out of that place. I'm not exactly sure what that place is, some kind of hammer, something. And I tried to travel back to wherever I was, but I just couldn't. And I find out it is because you need a better friendship drive to travel. Yes, I call them friendship drive because as long as you have good friendships, you can travel anywhere in the universe. So you need a good friendship drive in order to travel far into the Elite Dangerous universe. So actually I spent another hour or 2 hours. I was so frustrated I even think of giving up. But after I got out of that place, the whole universe opens up. Another tip that I found is useful is after you do some combat mission, if you have some bounty vouchers, go to the station to redeem it first. Sometimes I forgot and I think, okay, after next combat mission, I come back and redeem it. Guess what? I died in the next combat mission and all my combat vouchers are gone. I lost a lot of money that way. Another interesting thing I found is that I could not find and buy the Cobra Mark IV. Eventually, I find out that you have to purchase this game before a certain time, which is a few years ago, before you can get that Cobra Mark IV. I wasted a lot of time searching for that as well. And another interesting thing I found is that the Eagle Mark II is the Eagle itself. I have been looking to buy a Eagle Mark II. I searched a lot of places. I searched on Google and I found those places. I went there, it only sells the Eagle. And I went to another place, it only sells the Eagle. Eventually I find out that the Eagle is the Eagle Mark II. Another interesting I find that if you want to purchase an expensive ship, you better make sure you have enough money to buy the most expensive armor. Sometimes the armor is actually 2 or 3 times more expensive than the ship itself. That is crazy, but you do need that armor if you want to do some combat. And I learned a big lesson on that as well in one of my previous videos. So if you want to ask me how's my experience first week playing Elite Dangerous, I can only tell you it is beyond amazing. It's wonderful. It might be even better than Star Citizen, which I plan to do a comparison when I play the game a little bit more, maybe a week or 2 more, or even after a month, because I want to delve deep into Elite Dangerous. I only been playing combat missions to grind money, but I think I'm going to start explore Elite Dangerous more so I can know many different aspects of the game, dive deep into the game so that I can share more experience with every one of you. Leave in the comments below what is your first week playing Elite Dangerous, and if you have any tips, I'm sure some of you, a lot of you will have, please leave in the comments below, not just for me but for other new players so they can watch it and learn from it, so we can learn from each other and enjoy this game more and more. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.